Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this today, but let me tell you something. Your success is waiting on you, but it ain't gonna come to you if you keep quitting every time it gets tough. See, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants the big house, the nice car, the dream job, the financial freedom. But let me ask you something. Are you willing to do what it takes every single day? Not just when you feel like it, not just when things are easy, every single day. Consistency is the key to success because it separates those who dream from those who achieve. A lot of people have big dreams, great ideas, and even the talent to back it up. But talent alone isn't enough. If talent was all it took, the most gifted people in the world would always be on top. But how many times have we seen someone with all the potential in the world never make it? How many times have we heard stories about athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, or artists who had all the gifts but never reached their full potential? It's because talent without consistency is wasted. The truth is, success is not about being the smartest, the most talented, or even the luckiest. It's about who can show up, put in the work, and do it over and over again without stopping. When you're consistent, you create momentum. Think about a train. It takes a lot of energy to get it moving, but once it's going, it's almost impossible to stop. That's exactly how success works. If you keep showing up every day, if you keep putting in the work even when you don't feel like it, you start building momentum, and when you have momentum on your side, things start to move in your favor. But most people never reach that point because they stop too soon. They give up before the momentum kicks in. They work hard for a little while, but when they don't see immediate results, they quit. And that's the difference between winners and everyone else. Winners keep going even when they don't see progress right away. The reason consistency works is because it compounds over time. Every small action you take builds on top of the last one, and eventually those small actions turn into massive results. But the problem is, people want instant results. They go to the gym for a week, and when they don't see abs, they quit. They start a business, and when they don't make $1 million in the first 6 months, they give up. They start learning a skill, but when they struggle in the beginning, they assume they're not good enough. But that's not how success works. Success is about doing the same thing over and over again, improving little by little, until one day you look up and realize you've become great at it. Think about some of the most successful people in the world. They didn't wake up one day and suddenly become great. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team at first, but he kept practicing every single day until he became one of the greatest athletes in history. Oprah Winfrey was told early in her career that she wasn't fit for television, but she didn't stop, and now she's one of the most influential people in the world. These people weren't just talented, they were consistent. They refused to give up. They didn't let failure or setbacks stop them. And that's what it takes. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need to be perfect to be consistent. They think that if they miss a day or have a setback, they fail. But consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about getting back on track when you fall off. Life is going to happen. You're going to have bad days. You're going to mess up. You're going to get discouraged. But what separates successful people from everyone else is that they don't let one bad day turn into a bad week, a bad month, or a bad year. They get back up and keep going. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. If you want to change your life, you don't need to make huge, dramatic changes overnight. You just need to start showing up every single day and putting in the work. At first, it might feel like nothing is happening. It might feel like you're putting in effort for nothing. But if you keep going, if you keep pushing, one day you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. The hardest part is getting started and sticking with it long enough to see results. But once you understand that consistency is the key to success, you'll stop waiting for motivation. You'll stop making excuses, and you'll start doing what needs to be done every single day. Discipline over motivation is the foundation of real success because motivation is temporary, but discipline lasts. Motivation is that feeling of excitement you get when you start something new. It's the rush of energy when you set a big goal, the inspiration after watching a powerful speech, or the drive you feel after reading a success story. But here's the truth, motivation doesn't last. It fades. It comes and goes. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world, and other days you can barely get out of bed. If you rely on motivation to keep you going, you'll only be productive on the days you feel good. And that's why so many people fail. They wait to feel like it before they take action. They wait for that perfect burst of energy or inspiration. But successful people don't rely on feelings. They rely on discipline. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early to work on your goals when you'd rather stay in bed. It's going to the gym when you're tired. It's showing up for your business, your craft, or your responsibilities, even when no one is watching. Discipline is about making a commitment to yourself and keeping it no matter what. It's not about how you feel in the moment. It's about following through because you said you would. When you have discipline, you don't make excuses. You don't let emotions control your actions. You move forward regardless of the circumstances. One of the biggest reasons people fail to stay consistent is because they assume motivation will always be there. They think successful people wake up every day feeling inspired and energized. But the truth is, even the most disciplined people have days where they don't want to work, train, or push themselves. The difference is they do it anyway. They don't wait for motivation. They create routines, habits, and systems that keep them on track no matter what. Discipline is about setting a standard for yourself and refusing to drop below it. It's about training your mind to override your emotions. It's about creating habits that become automatic so that even on your worst days, you still get things done. The key to building discipline is to stop relying on motivation and start developing habits. When something becomes a habit, you do it whether you feel like it or not. You brush your teeth every day, not because you're motivated, but because it's a habit. You don't wake up excited to do it, you just do it. That's how you need to treat your goals. You have to build routines so that taking action becomes automatic. Whether it's working out, writing, studying, or improving your skills, the goal is to make it a part of your daily life, not something you only do when you're in the mood. Another part of discipline is learning to control your thoughts. Your mind will always try to talk you out of things that are uncomfortable. It will tell you to hit snooze, to skip a workout, to take it easy. But discipline means ignoring that voice and pushing through. It means recognizing that your feelings in the moment don't matter as much as your long-term goals. Every time you push past resistance, you strengthen your discipline. And the more disciplined you become, the less motivation you need. It becomes who you are, not just something you try to do. The reason most people stay stuck in the same place year after year is because they only work hard when they feel motivated. But life doesn't reward people who work hard occasionally. It rewards people who show up every day no matter how they feel. That's why discipline is so powerful. It removes the need to rely on fleeting emotions. It keeps you moving forward when everyone else is waiting for the right moment. Once you embrace discipline over motivation, you take full control of your success. You stop making excuses, you stop waiting for inspiration, and you start getting things done day in and day out. Pushing through the tough days is what separates those who succeed from those who quit. Anybody can work hard when they feel good, when the energy is high, and when everything is going their way. But what happens when you're tired? What happens when life knocks you down? What happens when the excitement is gone and all that's left is hard work, struggle, and doubt? That's the moment that determines everything. Because success isn't built on the easy days. It's built on the days when you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. Everyone has tough days. days when you feel like nothing is working, days when you're questioning whether all this effort is even worth it, days when you feel like giving up. It's natural. But the mistake most people make is letting those tough days define them. They assume that because they're struggling, it must mean they're not good enough. They think that if something feels hard, maybe it's a sign they should stop. But that's not how success works. If anything, the tough days are proof that you're on the right path. Growth is uncomfortable. Progress is painful. If you're struggling, it means you're pushing yourself beyond what's comfortable. And that's exactly where you need to be. The problem is most people look at tough days as a reason to slow down, when in reality, those are the most important days to push forward. Think about it like working out. If you stop every time the weights get heavy, you'll never build strength. It's the last few reps, the ones that burn, the ones that make you want to quit. Those are the reps that make you stronger. Life is the same way. When things get hard, that's when you have to dig deep and push through, because that's where real growth happens. One of the biggest lessons to learn is that tough days are temporary, but quitting is permanent. Whatever you're feeling right now, frustration, exhaustion, doubt, it will pass. But if you let it stop you, you'll never know how close you were to a breakthrough. So many people quit right before things start to click. They work hard, but the moment they face resistance, they assume it's not meant for them. But success doesn't work like that. It doesn't just show up because you tried once or twice. It rewards the ones who refuse to back down, no matter how tough it gets. A big part of pushing through tough days is learning how to control your mind. Your mind will always try to take the easy way out. It will tell you to take a break, to start tomorrow, to lower your expectations, but you have to recognize that voice for what it is, an excuse. Tough days aren't a reason to stop. They're a test to see how bad you really want it. And the people who succeed are the ones who learn to override that voice. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. They show up no matter what. Another key to surviving the tough days is understanding that emotions are temporary, but discipline lasts. Some days you're going to feel unmotivated, uninspired, and exhausted. That's fine. You don't have to feel great to get things done. You just have to commit to doing it anyway. If you let feelings control your actions, you'll never be consistent. But if you learn to act despite how you feel, nothing will be able to stop you. There's also a mental shift that happens when you start embracing the tough days instead of avoiding them. Instead of seeing struggle as something negative, you start to recognize it as part of the process. You stop looking for shortcuts and you start building real resilience. The more you push through the tough days, the stronger you become. And over time, what used to feel impossible becomes second nature. One of the biggest advantages of pushing through the hard days is that most people won't. Most people quit when things get uncomfortable. They take the easy way out. And that's exactly why success is rare, because it requires a level of perseverance that most people aren't willing to develop. But if you can train yourself to push through, you'll separate yourself from the crowd. You won't just be another person with a dream, you'll be the person who refuses to stop until that dream becomes real. Small daily actions lead to big wins, because success is not built on one big moment, but on the small things you do every single day. Most people think that success happens overnight. They see someone achieve something great and assume must have happened all at once. But what they don't see is the years of work, the daily habits, the discipline, and the sacrifices that person made to get there. The truth is, success is never about one huge leap. It's about the small, consistent actions that build up over time. The problem is most people underestimate the power of small actions because they don't see immediate results. They expect instant success, and when they don't get it, they give up. But real success doesn't happen like that. It comes from doing the little things over and over until they add up into something massive. Think about a drop of water hitting a rock. One drop won't make a difference. 10 drops won't either. But if that water keeps dripping day after day, eventually it will carve through solid rock. That's exactly how success works. The small things you do each day may not seem like they matter, but over time they shape your future. Every workout, every hour of practice, every extra effort at work, every small improvement, it all adds up. The problem is that most people don't have the patience to keep going when they don't see results right away. They assume that if their effort isn't paying off immediately, it's not working. But success is like planting a seed. You don't see anything at first. You water it, you nurture it, you take care of it every day, but for a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. Then one day, after weeks or months of consistent effort, that seed starts to sprout. And if you keep taking care of it, it grows into something strong. But most people quit watering their seeds too soon. They stop before they ever see results, not realizing how close they were to a breakthrough. The key to making small daily actions work is trusting the process even when you don't see immediate progress. It means committing to the small things even when they seem pointless. It means understanding that greatness isn't built in a day, but in the daily habits that become a way of life. You don't have to do something huge every day. You just have to keep moving forward, even if it's just a little bit. If you want to get in shape, you don't need to spend 5 hours in the gym once a month. You need to work out consistently, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. If you want to build a business, you don't need to have all the answers at once. You just need to take one step at a time, learning and improving each day. If you want to master a skill, you don't need to be perfect right away. You just need to practice every day, even if it's just a little bit. The hardest part about small actions is that they are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. It's easy to skip one workout. It's easy to put off reading for another day. It's easy to say, I'll start tomorrow. But success is about making the choice every single day to take that small step forward. Because the truth is, those small steps add up much faster than you think. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't one giant leap, it's the accumulation of small daily choices. Most people never reach their full potential because they don't stay consistent with the small things. They either try to do too much at once and burn out, or they do nothing at all. But if you commit to steady daily effort, no matter how small, you will eventually reach a point where the results become undeniable. You won't even realize it's happening at first, but one day you'll look back and see how far you've come. The secret is to start now, keep going, and trust that every small action you take is moving you closer to the life you want. Excuses will keep you stuck because they give you permission to stay where you are instead of pushing forward. Everybody has a reason why they can't do something. People say they don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, they don't have the right connections, they're too tired, or they're not ready yet. These excuses feel in moment because they justify action. They give you a way out so you don't have to deal with discomfort, hard work, or uncertainty. But the truth is, excuses are the biggest roadblock standing between you and the life you want. They are the reason why most people never reach their full potential. The problem with excuses is that they are easy to believe. Your mind will always try to protect you from discomfort. So when things get hard, it will give you every reason to stop. It will tell you that it's not the right time, that you're not capable, that you need to wait until everything is perfect. But the perfect time will never come. If you keep waiting until the conditions are just right, you'll be waiting forever. There will always be something in the way: a busy schedule, financial struggles, self-doubt. The people who succeed are the ones who stop waiting for perfect conditions and start taking action with what they have. They don't make excuses for why they can't. They focus on what they can do. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they don't have time, but time is not the problem, priorities are. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but how you use those hours determines your future. The truth is, people make time for what they care about. If you can spend hours watching TV, scrolling through social media, or doing things that don't contribute to your goals, then you have time. You're just not using it wisely. Successful people don't have more time than anyone else. They just make better use of it. They eliminate distractions, set priorities, and make sure that every day is spent moving toward their goals. Another excuse that keeps people stuck is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside the comfort zone. It's easy to say, I'm not ready yet, or I don't want to fail, but avoiding action because of fear only guarantees failure. The truth is, everyone is scared when they start something new. No one has all the answers in the beginning, but the only way to get better is to start, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep going. Every successful person you admire was once a beginner who didn't know what they were doing. The difference is they didn't let fear stop them. They felt the fear and took action anyway. Excuses also keep people stuck because they allow them to blame their circumstances instead of taking responsibility. It's easy to say, I can't be successful because I wasn't born into money, or I can't start this because I don't have support. But if you always blame your situation, you give up control over your own life. The reality is, there are people who have started with less than you and still made it. There are people who have faced bigger obstacles and still found a way. The difference is, they didn't let their situation define them. They didn't wait for someone to come and save them. They decided to save themselves. The only way to break free from excuses is to take full responsibility for your life. You have to realize that no one is coming to push you, motivate you, or make things easier for you. If you want something, you have to go get it. You have to stop focusing on what's in your way and start focusing on what you can do right now. The moment you stop making excuses, you take back your power. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become the creator of your future. And once you take ownership of your life, you'll realize that the only thing standing between you and success is the decision to stop making excuses and start doing the work. Your future depends on what you do today, because success is not something that just happens. It's something you build with your daily actions. Every single choice you make, every habit you create, and every step you take is shaping the person you are becoming and the life you will live. Too many people think their future is determined by luck, circumstances, or what's happening around them. But the truth is, your future is in your hands. It's not about where you come from, what resources you have, or what happened in the past. It's about what you choose to do right now. Every moment is an opportunity to move closer to your goals or further away from them. The problem is, most people don't think about the long-term impact of their daily actions. They don't realize that what they do today will determine where they are 5 years from now. They think that skipping one workout doesn't matter, that putting off their goals for another week won't make a difference, that wasting a little time here and there won't hurt. But success and failure are both built in the small, seemingly insignificant choices we make every day. Missing one workout might not seem like a big deal, but if that turns into a habit of skipping workouts, you'll find yourself out of shape. Procrastinating on a goal for one day might not seem like a problem, but if that turns into a pattern, years will pass without progress. On the other hand, showing up every day, even in small ways, leads to massive results over time. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that they'll change their life someday. They tell themselves that they'll start working on their dreams when they have more time, more money, or when things calm down. But someday is not a real day on the calendar. Waiting for the perfect time is just another way of putting off what needs to be done. The truth is, the only time you have control over is right now. If you don't take action today, you won't take action tomorrow either. The way you do things today is the way you'll do them in the future. If you build a habit of discipline, consistency, and hard work today, that will be your life in the future. But if you build a habit of procrastination, excuses, and laziness, that will be your future as well. Everything in life is a result of compounding. Just like money grows when invested wisely, your actions and habits grow over time. If you make good choices daily, those choices add up and create a successful future. If you make poor choices, those add up too, leading to struggle and regret. That's why every single decision matters.